It's Tuesday, May 31st. I'm Sarah Fergani with your KENS 5 News now. The first funerals begin today for two of the students killed at Robb Elementary, and one of them is 10-year-old Maite Rodriguez. Her cousin says Maite was brave, telling her fellow classmates where to hide during the shooting. Maite also aspired to attend Texas A&M Corpus Christi and study marine biology. Now, the other child is a Marie Jo Garza. She is described by loved ones as ambitious, smart, and loving. And A. Marie hoped to become a teacher one day. Friends and family calling her a hero, as she was one of the students who tried calling police when the gunman arrived on scene. The Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo will not be sworn in tonight after winning the race for District 3 more than 2 weeks before the shooting. Uvalde City Council is putting its meeting on hold to allow the community time to grieve. DPS said that Arredondo was the incident commander during that shooting, and he decided not to go in immediately to stop the shooter, believing that children were not in danger. Texas DPS called it the wrong decision. The Uvalde mayor said Arredondo will be able to keep his council seat. Uvalde's Mayor Don McLaughlin also weighed in on whether to tear down Robb Elementary.
I don't think anybody's plans are but to tear that building down, and it needs to be torn down. I would never expect a child to have to ever walk in those doors ever again. That building needs to be gone, taken away, and gone.
A number of lawmakers are now in support of the plan to tear down the school. In fact, State Senator Roland Gutierrez said President Biden offered federal help with the cost, a grant designed specifically for schools that have dealt with tragedies. Sandy Hook was one of those recipients. And today, Republican U.S. Senator John Cornyn also plans to meet with Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, promising to come up with a compromise on gun control. The meeting will be held virtually. The two senators adding they plan on working toward finding a basic framework on gun proposals. Right now, it is still unclear if any other lawmakers will join them. Congress is out of session this week for the Memorial Day holiday, so the Senate will not be voting on legislation before then. And because of Uvalde, schools across Texas and the country are now looking at what can be done to better protect our children. National security expert Ken Trump shared 3 takeaways with KENS 5, and he said first, school doors need to always be locked. Second, districts need to give law enforcement floor plans, keys, and remote access to cameras in advance to make officers' jobs easier during an emergency. And also, he said, educators and staff need better training so they can more quickly pick up on anything abnormal and react sooner.
Our educators have a whole different way of making decisions. Educators make decisions by forming committees and teams, looking at all the possible options and picking the best choice. In a life-threatening situation, you have to have situational awareness, ability to recognize abnormalities outside of the normal patterns, and make split-second decisions under duress, which is a very different way of thinking to what most educators have been trained and work in on a day-to-day basis.
Now, if you're looking for a way to help the families of the 21 victims and others affected by the shooting, you can always donate to the Robb Elementary Memorial Fund at any First State Bank branch. For more ways to help the Uvalde community, head to kens5.com/Uvalde help. And in your forecast, we're hearing the word rain. How much? Meteorologist Jeremy Baker.
Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be all that much. It's tomorrow, though, at 20%. Today is going to be a dry one, though. We have sunshine coming in by the afternoon, a temperature of 90 by noon, south-southeast winds at 10 to 20, and another hot one way above average to end May with a high of 97.
That's your KENS 5 News now. Of course, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us online for the very latest developments. I'm Sarah Fergani. Thanks for joining us.